Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on SATdecoded.com. Today I want to talk about greater and lesser graph functions. We've been talking a lot about graph functions in the previous videos, but this one's a little bit harder. So the question says, when is f of x greater than g of x? And here we have g of x, this parabola, and f of x, which is this line with some tick marks. So when is f of x greater than g of x? Well, let's analyze this question. F of x is a function. And remember, functions are outputs. And remember, outputs are y's. So in other words, this is asking when is the y value for the f function. So y for f function. When is that greater than g of x? G of x is also an output, which is also a y. But it's a y for the g function this time. So y for the function of g. So if we reread this question, it's really asking when is the y value for the function of x, or sorry, for the function of f greater than the y value for the function of g. So let's take a look. Well, when f of x is right here, it has various y values. Remember, every point is an ordered pair. Every point on this line. So for example, this ordered pair right here might have a y value or an output value of, I don't know, let's say 6. Whereas this ordered pair right here, maybe, who knows, it has maybe 5. And this ordered pair, maybe 4, and so on. Every single point right here has some sort of output and input value. So we don't really care about the x value just yet. Let's just take a look at when the y values are bigger. So notice this entire segment right here, from here to here. That has corresponding y values that are all bigger than this segment for the g function. So this segment of f of x is bigger than this curved portion of g of x. When it crosses the point of intersection, there's one right here, the g of x actually overtakes the f of x. Notice how the g of x right here now is bigger than the f of x because the g of x portion now is on top of the f of x portion. But the question is asking, when is f of x bigger? So f of x is bigger from here to here. If we go further into the negative side, then again, the g function in this part starts to overtake the f function, which is this part. The f function is getting lower and lower right here, whereas from this point onwards, towards the negative side, the g function is getting bigger and bigger. So all we really care about is from this to this, that segment, from here to here. So let's look at the corresponding values for it. 2 on this side, and it looks like -5 right here. So when is f of x greater than g of x? Well, from -5 to +2. And I use x because x is the input side. So from -5, which is the x right here, it can go all the way up to the +2 for the x, which is right here. So that's our answer for the first question. What if they ask, when is f of x less than g of x? Well, now it's kind of the reverse question. Now we just have to find out when f of x, or the y value for the f function, is less than the y value for the g function. So let's just take a look at the graph. Well, right here, this curve shows that g of x, when they have the corresponding y values, that's all still less than the f, because the f is on top of the g right here. So we gotta find the reverse of that, because right now we need the f function to be smaller than the g function. So here, this curved part represents still the g function, but now we see it on top of the f function. That means from this portion right here, the f function is actually less than the g function. So when is that true? That means when x is less than -5, f of x is going to be less than g of x. But there's also one more portion on these graphs when f of x is also less than g of x. It's kind of messy right here, but remember this parabola right here, this is g of x right here, and this part is f of x. I'm going to try to highlight it so you can see a little better. So g of x right here is on top of the f of x right here. So where does that happen? Well, it happens when it's 2 or greater. So, or when x is greater than 2. If x is between the middle part from here to here, that's our previous question, -5 to +2. But since we're looking for less than this time, this is our answer for that. X is less than -5 or x is greater than 2. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.